and these two gentlemen give a fantastic interview, but I do want to apologize in advance, guys. The audio for this interview is very, very scuffed. Unfortunately, the mic kit that I brought with me was not functioning properly during the interview, so I had to default to my camera's audio pickup, and as you guys will see, it's picking up a lot of background noise. I did my best to change things around in Audacity, but unfortunately, I just could not get it working right, so I left it at the default sound settings. I hope it's not too distracting for you guys. I hope you're able to get something out of this interview. They drop a lot of bombs about WoW Classic. They confirm a lot of things. They deny a lot of things. And they even give us a little inkling about TBC.
Sorry, but I just realized I have Finn and I think you have Tiger. They look identical and we have done this before. Mind if you being Tiger over and I can give you Finn back. Thanks, man.
Shut the fuck up.
Hope you guys enjoy this interview. Apologize, it won't happen again when it comes to the audio. I'll do my best to prepare better next time. But as always, tips out, baby. Take care, guys.
Tips
What's
out.
up, guys? It's Tips, and I'm joined by executive producer of World of Warcraft, John Hight, as well as senior software engineer, Omar Gonzalez. Congratulations, first and foremost. You guys just announced the Classic WoW release date, the beta date, the collector's edition. What was the journey like getting to this point?
For me, it's been kind of a 16-year-long journey. I worked on the original version of World of Warcraft. And
Beta live. Ban me if not live.
On every expansion ever since. And it's been a fantastic opportunity for me to literally go back to where I got my start in the game industry and with Blizzard, and to kind of get an opportunity to let a whole new generation of players and old veterans a chance to go back and see the world that kind of kick-started this all.
Absolutely. Me personally, I just know that a lot of the folks back home have some key questions they wanted me to ask you guys, so I'm just going to kind of go rapid fire if you don't mind. So first and foremost, you guys announced the beta. Fantastic, May 14th, 15th, I think, which is basically in a week or so from now. What can we expect from the beta? I know you said something about an opt-in. How many people will be able to get into the beta? How long will the beta be? The scope? You know, basically, how's it going to work exactly?
I don't know that we've set exact numbers. It is going to be a very small beta, though. So don't want to get everyone's hopes up that it's going to be millions of people on there. I mean, we basically want to, we want to run through the pipes on the game, make sure that we uncover any issues, and we definitely want to make sure that we're targeting folks that are really, serious, fans, that they're going to help us point out any inconsistencies or anything that we might have gotten wrong.
Awesome.
Do you want to talk about the stress tests?
Yeah, please.
In addition to the beta, we also are going to be doing stress test weekends where we're going to invite a much larger pool of players to kind of come in and log on and interact with each other for very targeted periods of time to kind of stress out our servers, just to kind of make sure that everyone is prepared for when we're ready to launch.
Awesome. So in terms of these stress tests, I'm guessing the goal behind them is to kind of obviously test the servers for the launch day. Classic WoW is one of the most anticipated games of the year, I think, and you're going to have millions of people from all over the world trying to log in. At BlizzCon, you guys mentioned you were exploring a couple of options to deal with that launch stress, whether it be sharding or anything else. Have you guys made a decision as to how you're going to deal with those massive influx of people? Do you have a server count, for example, how many servers you're going to set up? And if so, how do you plan to address that whole day?
You've got some pretty innovative solutions on how
yeah,
to do
we
it.
we do actually have some news on that front. Again, as Ian alluded to, sharding has some less than desirable side effects when it comes to World of Warcraft Classic. However, the ability to scale up dynamically to demand is very enticing to ensuring a smooth launch. So when we looked at those two things, our key goal was to do what's right for Classic, and for that we effectively built out a new technology that we're kind of calling layering. And this new technology kind of allows us to spin up World of Warcraft continents wholesale. So an entire Eastern Kingdoms and entire Kalimdor as sort of one single seamless continuous world that all players will be able to play in. However, for launch we'll be able to have, if we need to, more than one of those continuous worlds in order to kind of soft absorb an impact of a tremendous number of players trying to log in initially. This is important because under this paradigm, when you are entering Northshire or whatever starter zone that you're in, you are going to be seeing an entire realm's population worth of characters in the world, all competing for the same spot.
Oh my god, okay.
However, because it's dynamic and flexible, for the launch periods, we can accommodate more people on a selected realm in order to kind of ensure that we provide the play experience and availability without having to wait a crazy amount of time in a logging queue, for example. So we're very excited.
Well, I wonder.
That we've built out this whole new solution.
I don't get sharding. Or layering. I don't understand it. So they did talk about layering. I heard about this, and it was just like, I don't know what it is. I just don't want to, like, I just hope I don't go through the world and see a person, and I get this subconscious idea in my head that I'm never going to see that person again. And I just develop that with, like, everyone I see. It's sharding, but bigger. Yeah, but, like, I don't know. I get it. So it's like, it's no longer a zone. It's more so like a whole continent. But I don't want to see some guy named Jimmy from Moonguard, right? Because I don't know if it's like this, but I'd be sad because it's like, if I see Jimmy from Moonguard, I'm going to feel like only the first month. That's not how it works. See, every single person I've talked to about it has been like, don't worry, Chance, it's not like sharding. It's not. I'm like, okay, it's not like sharding, but I just don't want to see people from other servers. But I get it. It's like, it's modern WoW, so you kind of have to accommodate with how everyone plays the game nowadays. I get it. It's restricted to your server only. So then, so if it's like, so what does it do then? So it's like full continent. It's restricted to your server. So what does it do? It feels like it's the same, like it's not even there. Well, listen, I am listening channels. So I'm going to get phased to different channels on my server. I'm only ever going to see people from my server, but sometimes, let's say Jimmy from my server is in my zone. I may not see him. Only in P1. Only in the beginning zones. Okay, so it'll like figure, okay. All right. I mean, whatever. Sure. I mean, honestly, I'd be okay with sharding at the beginning of Classic WoW. I would. See, that wouldn't bother me because I would understand why they're doing it. As long as it goes away.
Players get the best of both worlds, if you will.
But if you and I have chosen the same realm, we're going to preserve that realm identity and our identity within that realm.
So, all characters.
But if you've chosen different realms, we're not going to actually be
exactly. These are not cross-realm continents, for example.
Okay.
Oh, it's going to keep going.
But they are dynamic. If we did create new characters and we ended up on different ones, if we party up, for example, you might still see transition there, because we do still want to make sure that if you are creating a party in a group, you still will be able to play together. The other aspect of this,
they're planning cross-realm BGs though, which is stupid. I don't think that's stupid. I actually support that.
Once you're kind of in one of these layers, we try to keep you kind of sticky to it. So, for example, if you start off in Elwyn Forest, and you see a particular set of names, when you level up during that play session, if you move on to other zones, all the way north, you will still be sharing that same continent. You'll still see those same set of players.
That's very interesting, actually, and that's actually really cool. Very, very innovative. And it does preserve that realm identity. You've got these continents now. They're accommodating a server size or a traditional server size amount of players. In the grand scope of things, overall server count, do you guys have any idea how many servers you'll be running? And will you be using new names for the servers or kind of the old names from the past?
We are going to create new names, because these, we don't want to create confusion. We're operating Classic at the same time that we're operating Modern WoW. So there'll be new names for it. In terms of actual server count, we haven't released those numbers yet. We have the flexibility, of course, to increase servers over time if popularity requires it.
Awesome. In terms of,
we're going sub mode.
So
you guys
let's
are
say
too
the game
fucking
launches,
stupid.
Tomorrow. And actually, before the launch, you guys have released and announced a very beautiful collector's edition. You get so many things. The Ragnaros statue, sick, honestly. Whoever designed that, pat on the back, definitely. So with this collector's edition, we saw that players coming maybe from the modern WoW community, the retail community that maybe haven't tried Classic before, or even old players from the past, they'll be receiving a number of different pets and mounts and kind of cosmetics in game. Will there be any cosmetics awarded to players in Classic for Classic, or are these mounts basically for the retail?
Yeah, those are strictly for modern WoW because we want to preserve Classic in its entirety. So we actually debated that. Should we create some commemorative pet in Classic? We felt like no. Our core pillar on Classic is authenticity.
Awesome. Any plans for the original Diablo pets and stuff from the original World of Warcraft launch, or no TCG pets or anything like that?
We're happy to announce that if you have those pets on your account and you bought the original collector's edition and you have that on your account, you'll still have those items when you create characters in Warcraft Classic.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Better get to eBay then. No new mounts or pets or anything in Classic while keeping it as authentic as possible. But in terms of services overall, I know back in Vanilla, if players wanted to swap realms, there was some kind of way to do it, albeit with some stipulations and some cooldown periods of time. Have you guys thought about realm swapping or any other services for Classic WoW? I know on the beta files a couple of days ago, something popped up about a WoW token. Is there any plans to put WoW tokens in Classic WoW?
So in terms of tokens, no. We're trying to keep it very pure. We have talked about realm transfer as something that we might want to support for the matter the convenience that you just described. If you discover, hey, my buddies are over here, how do I get over here? We don't want to force you to have to create a new character and start all over again. So that may be the one service that we'll provide.
Awesome. Okay.
Any others? I think it was.
That was certainly a feature that existed originally, and because of that, we feel that it still falls under the umbrella of what we want to be able to preserve. But it will, in the future, it will be through our in-game services as opposed to trying to resurrect the old website-based.
Yeah, you don't need to do that.
of realm transfer.
Yeah.
I bet people are going to be pissed
Obviously,
about that.
Post-launch, you guys actually
that bothers them.
You released a blue post.
I want to go through the website.
Release schedule.
Feels nostalgic.
There will be 6 phases for Classic WoW. Phase 1 being Molten Core and Ixia, and Phase 6 all the way through to Naxxramas. Have you guys thought about kind of the spacing between these phases? How long each phase will last? Is there any kind of paradigm of thought, kind of dictating your philosophy behind that, or is it kind of like, well, maybe BFA is releasing a patch, we should probably schedule a patch kind of in the middle? Have you guys figured that out yet?
We haven't said anything in stone yet. This is, again, a love letter to our community, so we feel like we actually want to let the community have some very strong influence on that timing and dates. But to that end, it means we're going to have to sort of wait and see how the community progresses organically and naturally through these content phases, and sort of use that to inform when we feel is the best time to kind of progress through those phases. Unfortunately, that means that we can't really give concrete dates before we launch.
Well, that's great, honestly, and you guys have been keeping the community so involved. Like, especially these past couple of months, like, it feels like every week we're getting something new, and it's been great. Just getting the feedback and the back and forth, and seeing the project kind of mold to kind of how the community feels and how you guys feel as well. In terms of the phases specifically, phase 1 obviously going to be great, the big launch and everything like that.
This is a great interview. This is very, very nice. It's very important. What's his name again? What's that tournament that happened that I was in where I was dueling? I got like 1 shot or whatever. But continue your interview tips. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
For introducing the battlegrounds, and I had a question specifically about that actually. In Vanilla WoW, originally the battlegrounds were restricted to servers only, players on the same server duking it out. By the end of Vanilla, cross-realm BGs were introduced. Do you guys have any plans to introduce cross-realm BGs at the start of Classic or at any point during Classic?
Look how happy he is. This is before the tournament, just by the way.
Of 112, and they were important for our matchmaking. we want to continue to support everything that existed in 1.12, which would include cross-run battlegrounds.
Okay. So
Oh, my
Crossroads
ego's
will be
going up.
phase 3,
I love
assume? Okay, sounds good.
At the very beginning, you mentioned something about
Fuck.
more involvement in our part in community.
Okay, hold on. I'm getting a weird
I
call.
appreciate you seeing that. I want to give a shout out to our community team because they recognize that we needed to step it up a little bit. We, as developers, so they're on us more to make sure we're providing the information. But thank you, and we'll continue to do our best.
No, it's thank you guys. It's been great, and Kvax and Bornak and all those guys. Like seeing that blue post is like taking a shot of cocaine every morning. So it's great. There are a couple of things that will be kind of introduced into Classic, not so much on the feature standpoint or gameplay, but kind of as the overarching Blizzard infrastructure. I'm talking specifically about Battle.net integration. So nowadays we have the BNet friends list and the kind of the cross-platform, communication stuff. Do you guys have any plans to kind of adjust the BNet system to kind of preserve certain things in Classic? For example, will someone on the opposing faction be able to see that you on your server are online if you're Horde and their alliance, for example? Are there going to be any restrictions made to BNet to kind of preserve some authenticity in vanilla?
If you're worried about people exploiting and cheating,
It was my food.
More or less, I mean, let's say I'm
taking
playing
advantage of PvP situations.
Exactly. So the boys, S-Man, stay safe. I'm sure they're going to have me on their friends list, and I'm going to have them on my friends list. And we're playing on the same server. They're going Alliance, I'm going Horde.
Yeah,
So
and as you realize, like when we launched Classic originally, original WoW, there weren't a lot of different mechanisms by which people could communicate out of game. Now there are a bunch. So I'll let Omar answer the question what we're doing specifically with Battle.net or Blizzard communities, but there's probably no way for us to prevent some form of communication outside the game in those circumstances.
all right.
I can talk to a specific change we made directly because of feedback. If you encounter another player in world of the opposing faction and you target them and you bring the drop-down list, you won't be able to have any sort of add friend options from the drop-down from targeting the characters in world.
So you won't be able to add someone of the opposing faction to your friends list down the road.
Yeah. However, if you are already established a real friend ID or a battle tag friend ID, then obviously you'll still see that online presence. But then again, we also that system also offers the appear offline option.
I'd love to add the other faction on Real ID. What? Hello?
You know that's not happening. Forearm for your bungee.
I'm sorry.
For your plumbing, air conditioning, and drain needs,
Just call Radiant.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others.
No, I feel bad. I feel like I
Saint
can't
Jude
skip
does
this because I look like a dick.
miraculous work.
Oh, but I can't.
If your play dictates, you can temporarily switch into appear offline.
Just winding things down here, August 27th release date. Very, very excited, looking forward to it. If Classic is successful, if it's as successful as we all hope it to be, have the conversations at least started about potentially something beyond Burning Crusade, Wrath of
Oh,
the Lich
sure,
King?
yeah. I mean, and we're going to watch our player community super closely. So be sure to
absolutely.
let us know
Yeah.
what you and your communities believe is the right way to go. But we have it up our sleeve. We can always do that. So
Exciting.
we're open to those options.
I'm sure just by you saying that, it's going to make a lot of people happy. Very much looking forward to it. John Hight, Omar Gonzalez, thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it. Guys, I'll be debuting this live on Twitch. In case you miss it on Twitch, it will be uploaded to YouTube. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in just a bit. And as always, tips out, baby.
Tips
Take
out,
care.
baby.